Hello guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Miracle. And if you're new here, this is Population Me, where I sit on my floor sometimes, go out sometimes, and do random stuff in my place sometimes. All within this channel, and it's just a little bit of a community within my own home, which is just me, obviously. But today is the day before Christmas Eve, so December 23rd. Christmas Eve is tomorrow. Christmas is in 2 days, so on your calendar, mark that down, right? But I just came here to kind of make a video because I was thinking today, literally today, about what am I going to do for Christmas and where am I going to go and who am I going to do it with and am I going to spend a Christmas living alone or am I going to actively go make an effort to do something for Christmas? A little backstory. I have three other siblings and my mom, obviously, if you know me in real life. And we celebrated Christmas majority of our lives, right? We kind of had the semblance of having that holiday be a part of the American tradition because my parents growing up were immigrants, so they're not born here. But they do celebrate that tradition in their own hometown out of country. So they came here and they kind of saw it and they tried to adapt to it, of course. But growing up, we were also kind of lower middle class, as one is in this country. It's not that many people who are upper middle class these days, but because of that, we never truly had the gift giving of the holiday spirit, and we were always together anyway. Especially since high school, elementary school, I never truly saw myself away from them. Not on my behalf, of course. Talk about that another day, but I always was around my family. Not that I always wanted to be, but I definitely saw that as how can a holiday spirit be anything more than you just seeing your family? And in our case, we didn't really get presents because can't afford presents. So we just ate good food, watched the same Charlie Brown Christmas special on TV, and that was our tradition for like the longest time, right? And then I went to college, and then college was a bit different, right? You have to be forced out of school during winter break. They wouldn't allow people to stay unless it was COVID, then some schools did. But I was at home, especially during COVID, and the traditions were definitely dwindling by the second. More of my siblings were older. I was still in college. I didn't really have the tradition as we once did. The food was still there, but it wasn't the same that we had when we were younger. The Charlie Brown specials no longer showed on TV for some odd reason. I guess we could have looked it up, but it was more special seeing it just like shown online or on TV. And I started to realize that without the gift giving of consumerism, which is not what I'm talking about, but just the idea of Christmas is a gift giving season, right? You don't think of Thanksgiving as you have to buy a turkey. Like a turkey would be nice, and turkey is part of the original Thanksgiving. But if you don't like turkey, you're still bringing food, you're still bringing togetherness, you're still having that connection. But then when Christmas comes around, the biggest thing you have is gifts. It's a tree. It's all these decorations you don't really see in a bigger light other than Halloween, right? Um, and for us, we didn't really have that. I can remember a time when I was younger, in elementary school, when it was one year of Christmas and it didn't snow that year because Chicago weather. And at the time, I made snowflake origami. You know, the ones where you fold the paper in like a million different folds and you just cut around it. I made so many of them and I just glued it to our home because I wanted it to be somewhat of a decoration, right? I gave it to my family as gifts because I'm like 10 and I'm like, I can't afford anything because I have less than $1 to my name. But with all that being said, it was the best I could see. And even I saw gift giving as one of the many things you could do for Christmas. And as I got older and the gifts never came truly, I never really saw the shine of the Christmas spirit. And now that I live alone, I can still see my family, right? I can still see my siblings and my parents and be around some of my friends who stayed in the city or are with their families and maybe go with their families. But I don't really see the Christmas spirit. And I'm not really sure if I ever did see the spirit. And that is kind of what I want to talk to myself about, honestly, because I was having this realization today, sitting on my bed, thinking about what am I gonna do for Christmas. Literally scouring the internet of the million light shows they have in the city and wondering, is it worth going down in 30-degree weather to see some light shows that I can see online? And I started thinking, what is Christmas if not just another day for me? And I know that sounds crazy. I just said I grew up celebrating Christmas in the fashion that people would assume it, right? But without the gift giving. We had the food, we had the bare backs or bare bones of decorations, we had the traditions of watching the same shows and being together. And you still had that connectivity of being like, oh, we are still grateful and thankful, and Thanksgiving just happened. So we still have a bunch of food from that time. But outside of that, I don't truly know what Christmas is if it's just not another day for me. And that honestly, I feel like it's a bigger issue I find within myself of making dates bigger than what they are. Because for me, a lot of days are just another day of me living. And not in a depressing way of like, I'm just trying to survive till tomorrow. No, it's more of I don't see the difference between a Christmas, a Thanksgiving, my birthday. The only thing I can see a difference is Halloween because I want to dress up. It's the one day of the year people outside of your community does something for other people. You know, they could do it for Thanksgiving if it's free food, obviously. But all these other holidays are more of within your community, while Halloween or maybe even Easter, if you go to church, they're more about the people who are around you who are willing to like celebrate with you. Even then, I don't truly celebrate Easter. Even Halloween, I go out because I love to dress up. But if I didn't want to dress up, and I thought to myself, I can buy candy in a store. Why would I, anyway? But I think that is one of the reasons, if I had to track back to my childhood, that may have been a founding cause when I was younger of just wondering why we even celebrated Christmas. Because I was talking to one of my family members a few days ago who like calls me every other week, right? And I was just like, oh, hi, what's up? Like, per usual, just talking, just chatting. And they were just reminiscing about Christmas as a family and what we used to do together. And I was just sitting there listening to them talk and thinking to myself, we really didn't do much though. We really just sat there as we done the day before, as we were going to do the day prior, the day after. We're just gonna sit there, eat the same food but in bigger quantities, have no gifts, be around each other but not really together, have no semblance of a tree, no decorations, the bare bones of the snowflakes I made, and say Merry Christmas to each other. And that was the only way you would know if you walk into our home that we were celebrating Christmas. And they were just talking like, oh, remember when we used to celebrate the holidays together? Now we barely do that. And I was just like, what do you mean? We didn't really celebrate it. I mean, yes, we were together, and that's the point of a holiday is to be with family, but at the time, we were forever 24/7 not allowed to leave our homes unless you had school. Like, we were never, like, I was sheltered, but like, sheltered enough to know the world, but sheltered enough to also not know how to keep a lot of friendships outside of school, if you know what I'm talking about. So for me, being at home during a whole 2 weeks of a holiday in elementary school was you're at home for 2 weeks for those winter breaks. You don't go out, right? Even if it was a good temperature to go out, you can't go out. So for my sibling to like reminisce about the good old days in his opinion, I started to wonder, what are you doing now that makes that day so good to you? Because to me, I look back and I'm like, it was just another day, and I don't reminisce about it because I live alone. I have siblings who come and visit, which is lovely for me. But at the same time, I'm able to like make preparations for them because I know if I'm hosting them, I want them to have a better Christmas than what we had when we were younger because now I have the money to spend, not to go crazy. I'm not exactly buying a tree out here. I'm one person. I don't want a tree. But at the same time, I don't want them to feel like it's just another day because for me, I always thought, Christmas, lovely holiday. I feel like I'm like looking into a world that I should be a part of, but can never find my footing in. So I'm forever on the outskirts. And that's how I always felt about Christmas. So when my sibling was like, "Oh, I'm not really doing anything for Christmas. I'm just reminiscing," I would stop to think, like, what is stopping you? Like, what do you want for Christmas? Like, what is Christmas to you if not what they teach you on TV, what you see your friends doing, what you see in the stores of what they propagate to you? Like, you need the latest gadgets, or you need to have this lovely, like, big ass tree that's real and not plastic. Like, what can you really say made your Christmas a Christmas day outside of your family? And that just kind of got me thinking to just do this video, honestly, because I was looking into like restaurants to go to on Christmas Day and thinking to myself, what have I done in the previous years since graduating college? Because in college, I went home, and even then, you still had the white elephant, the secret Santas with your friends, and that was really the best part of my Christmas. But at the end of the day, I would say while I was with my friends and it was a great time, we were only together because of the idea of gift giving. And I started to question, is gift giving really the answer to Christmas? Must I exchange gifts with people to feel like I'm really celebrating a holiday that is within that realm? Because my birthday passed a few months ago. Obviously, if you guys saw the video, it's linked somewhere on this thingy. But my birthday passed a few months ago, in November. And one of my siblings has a birthday pretty close to my day. Like his day is literally a few days before mine. And I bought his gift online like weeks prior. And when they came over to see me, I gave them their gift, and I was like eagerly waiting for their like their expressions, their reactions, because when I give them gifts every year, I try to make it as personable as possible. Because if you look up the gifts they think people like online, they all just say watches, ties, shoes, and I'm always just like, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't even give myself this, so if I don't want it, they definitely don't want it. So I gave them like little gadgets here and there that I thought would be good for their health, good for their well being, good for just entertainment and possible. And I realized one of my love languages is giving stuff to people, right? I obviously did it with my sibling. I did it when I was younger with the snowflakes. I do it with some of my friends when it's their birthday. I try to make sure I'm there and let them know, like, even if we see each other, even if we know who we are after so many years together, that I still know what they are and who they like and what they want in their gifts. Like if I'm with one of my best friends and I'm giving her a cat potty pillow, it's kind of cute. Don't worry about it. If I'm giving them that, I know it's not because, oh, it's cute for me, it'd be cute for her. It's like, no, she has a cat and they look kind of similar, and she loves Halloween as a Halloween body pillow as a cat. Like things that are so simple to another person mean so much to me. So I start questioning, is that what I'm missing in Christmas? Should I start giving people gifts to feel like I'm celebrating a holiday? But the thing is, I don't want to be giving gifts and then feeling like if it's not good enough, then I've ruined part of my friendship with someone internally, right? I know they will never think that or never feel that way. They'd be happy to receive whatever. But in the end of the day, it is something I'm putting on myself to make Christmas feel special. And if Christmas must feel special because I have to give them something, then no longer is it about what the holiday represents, and it's more about what I'm trying to make up for in lieu of what I'm giving them. For example, if I give you a watch and you realize you like touchscreen watches and I gave you like an analog watch, you might look at me and be like, "Oh, I love it." Next thing you know, I don't see you wearing it. I've now adapted my whole tradition of Christmas onto this one gift I gave you. And while it was close to what you wanted, I'm no longer able to call you a friend in my own eyes. And now I have to make up for what I've done in my own mind. The self guilt you feel, the self loathing you have, thinking you don't know who your people are for real. And then me just making it up for the rest of the year until Christmas comes out again. And I think it's my second chance to make it. And that's just like a little convoluted and a little bit dramatic. Obviously, that's why I don't think that way. That's why I don't try to make it be about, you know, gifts giving. But when I was younger, Christmas was more of a a thing people told us. Like, oh, it's Christmas. It's here. We're so close to Thanksgiving, but Christmas and New Year's. New Year's was great. I love New Year's because New York loves New Year's, so I love New Year's. I love seeing their ball. I love seeing the free concerts. Honestly, can't go wrong with a New Year's ball. But with Christmas, it always was a middle holiday for us. It was beautiful and knowing what other people did and seeing their decorations and being like, wow, I can really feel the Christmas spirit in the air. But when you see our family, you're like, oh, you guys are together again. And it's like, yes, forever and always, unfortunately, at the time. But it was always just, what are you doing for Christmas? Even now, people ask, what are you doing for Christmas? What are you doing for Christmas? And it's a good question, obviously. I ask them that back because I want to know what they're doing for Christmas. If I take some of their pointers, but I don't know what to say. I always say I'm hanging out with my siblings and we're gonna go out and we're gonna do stuff together and that's gonna be our Christmas. But I'm like, okay, you're gonna do that, but then what are you gonna do the next few days? It's still a holiday, right? If you are off work, 2 week holiday, you know? But I don't know if I should make Christmas a bigger thing than what it is, right? It is a holiday based in, if we gotta be a little religious here, it's a holiday based in Christianity on the birth of Jesus. Not the right birth, not the right day, whatever, but it's meant to celebrate the birth of Jesus and how he came and did all his good stuff. And the whole point isn't to give gifts in terms of that. The three wise men, they give gifts to Jesus. They're in the whole Bible. Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I'm rambling, obviously. Um, but I guess all this to say is I'm a little confounded about what Christmas is and what I should be doing because even with birthdays, I don't know how to make my birthday more special than a normal day. Obviously, I did so much in that week. If you saw the video, of course, link up here. But I don't know. I obviously did a week because I felt that in my past years, I haven't done anything for my birthday. And I don't mean extravagant thing. I don't want to go to I don't want to go to Las Vegas. I don't want to travel the world. I don't want to, go outside and see marching bands in my name. But I want to do something that's not the thing I did before, right? In high school, when I did my birthday, it was just a cake that I had to buy, and we go home and I celebrate my family. But it was just a song. It was them sing. It was them cutting the cake, eating it, and everyone went their own way after like 5 minutes. And you're like, okay, great. My whole day of a birthday amounted to 5 minutes of like togetherness, right? And that's how it was for every birthday until college when you're having friends celebrate it for once and you're like, oh, they did a better job. We're together, we're laughing, when no one's leaving the room 2 seconds after they get their slice of cake is lovely. I love it. This feels like a real birthday, right? And there's gifts, obviously, but not everyone needs to bring one. You're just there with people you might have not seen in weeks. And you're just like, oh my God, here are the people who care to come and who were invited. And through that, I just learned if you want to have a great birthday, you bring the people you want the most to see it with you. And that's really what I've done to like create a better space for my birthday when I haven't gotten that as a kid. And it's no one's fault for what my birthday was. Honestly, it's just everyone's birthday is different. Some people want a simple life, some people want something crazy. I just want a birthday that doesn't feel like the day before. And that's the same with Christmas. Of course, it's not about me, it's about the people I have with me. And that's the biggest problem sometimes because even the people I have with me don't truly see Christmas either as a holiday. And even now, it's like you're struggling tooth and nail to do something for people in your family who don't want to celebrate it anymore or don't care to have a bigger impact in it. And I can't go to other people who are friends and say, "Hey, my family don't want to celebrate Christmas. Can I come to yours?" Because they have their own traditions. They have their own families. Not everyone celebrates Christmas. They just celebrate a day because they're not all part of the same religion or political stance or whatever. So it becomes less of a togetherness like Thanksgiving is, and more of like, oh, we're doing this, or I'm going out, or I'm leaving town, or I'm doing. So I guess for me, I'm still trying to figure out what is Christmas to me, and why am I not feeling the joy that everyone else feels outside of the commercials, outside of the trees being put up in people's homes and I can see it and it's so beautiful, but just really figure out why I can't get that joy that people are experiencing. And I'm not depressed. Promise. Promise. It sounds like it, but I'm not. I'm just trying to really find a way to not have Christmas be a day of just feeling like it's empty. It feels like an empty day because I'm trying my best, which doesn't feel like anything, but mentally I'm trying my best to rack up ways to get this holiday back on track for me. But I think maybe a tree might do the trick. I don't know. Maybe I need a tree. Maybe it needs to be a tradition. Maybe I need to start something. I've seen people do YouTube videos of how they've gotten their own traditions going with making gingerbread houses every year, especially when they're alone, or maybe making hot cocoa with ice cream and having that be a tradition. I don't have a tradition. I don't even watch the Charlie Brown special. I see it so many times. I'm kind of tired. I don't watch the Polar Express. I don't watch Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, I've seen them. I've seen Elf a million times. But maybe this is just a saying that I need to start a new tradition. And I don't know what that tradition is. I don't know what it would be meaningful for me because if you know me, I don't really care too much about a lot of things. And then when I do care, I feel like it's too late to start executing any plans because I didn't make any effort to plan it out prior. Like now I'm starting to care about Christmas when I known about this month since December 1st. And now it's coming up in 2 days and I'm supposed to just do something? Of course it's on me, right? And now I have a few plans and I hope they go well. And I'm hoping that with my siblings, it does become another day for us. Because sometimes you just want a day that makes it feel like, yes, I can look back on this day and say, that was a Christmas. Or I really love spending time with my family on this day. And it's not just another, you know, it's not 24th, it's not the 26th, it's Christmas. So there is no lesson to be learned from this. I am still trying to learn a lesson myself, if I'm being honest. I don't know what lesson that is. I'm trying not to take Christmas for granted. I shouldn't be taking anything for granted, but I don't want to take Christmas for granted because there will be a time in my life when I'm 90 years old and I don't get to go outside. I don't get to see anything. The nursing home that I will be unfortunately put into will have the bare backs of snowflakes on the walls and they won't be able to afford a tree. And I'll be sitting there being depressed with no family, no friends, no kids, no one to really say, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And I'll be wondering back to my memories of what did I do to make this day special that I can rewind and watch in my mind until the day is over. And if I can't find several Christmases that I love, then I've done something wrong. And I don't think I'll regret it, obviously, but I think I'll be kind of sad in knowing that even if it's a man made holiday or whatever, I still want to have a day where I can look back and say, I love this. This was really good for me. This helped me wind down, connect back to people I didn't talk to in months, and really get to know myself better. So, this is a PSA. Though this is a diary journal to myself, um, this is also to say if you have any experience in not having a Christmas, maybe because it was bad, maybe because you don't celebrate Christmas anymore, maybe it is just another day. You don't want to feel forced to celebrate something you don't truly want to be a part of. Let me know because I think I am struggling with the concept of removing myself from the idea that Christmas must be a holiday filled with thousands of dollars spent and the house looking like it's the forest and just, 20,000 people in my home wearing the same pajama set and just trying to be like, what is Christmas? And why couldn't I have had that when I was younger? So, enter perspective a little bit. I'm looking within myself to figure out the truth of what I need to look towards. But all that being said, I will let you guys know what I do Christmas. I don't know if I have true plans or if I can record anything, but I will see what I'm doing. But that is all for me today. it's not so much of a low note, it's more of a medium note. I'm still looking into plans. I'm still trying to find my Christmas and my holiday that I want to share with other people and see if that can be something that I could do. I'm only 24, so if I don't die tomorrow, I have my whole life ahead of me. That is how that works. So, thank you again for listening to my little rant. It's not really a rant, really, but a little introspective view of Christmas. But yeah, it's just a little diary entry for me, I think, and this came to my mind. So we might do more of these videos. We'll see how much I care about sharing about myself on the internet, but we will see how this goes for me. And if I don't have another video before Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and of course, have a very Merry New Year's. Thank you and bye.